Okay. Nagre-record lang po tayo. Ayan. So, good afternoon, class. We will start discussing design of base plate. Okay, so ang plano ko is umabot tayo ng design of connections. So, paabutin natin ng design of connections yung ating steel design. Okay, so last meeting we already discussed the design of steel purlins. Okay, so as of now, alam niyo na paano mag-design ng steel purlins, how to get 4Ws for the nominal load and the tangential load, and determine the interaction diagram, the interaction of bending in X and bending in Y, bending stress in X and bending stress in Y, and to determine the if your purlins is adequate to carry the loads. Okay, so also during in the previous lectures, we already designed steel columns. Okay, but the question is, pwede ba nating paano ba yung connection ng column dun sa foundation, or paano ba tayo maglalagay ng support support condition dun sa column natin. Okay? So dito papasok yung design of base plate. So ano muna yung base plate bago tayo bago natin pag-aralan yung structural part or yung pagde-design. Okay? Column base plate, let's say this one is an example of a column base plate without stiffeners. Okay? So later on mag-discuss natin what is the stiffeners. Okay. The purpose of the column base plate is to basically to transfer the loads, okay, to transfer the loads of your columns to the foundation. Okay, and also kailangan mong maglagay ng base plate because hindi mo pwedeng i-rest, okay, hindi mo pwedeng ilagay yung inyong steel sa exposed earth structure. So sa basically the exposed earth, kasi mangyayari it will corrode. Magkakaroon ng rusting. Okay? So, pag nagkaroon ng rusting dun sa steel, magko-corrode, magde-deteriorate yung steel, and also magkakaroon ng failure yung inyong column. Okay? So, that is why we need to separate steel from the earth, from the soil, from the earth. Okay? So, to transfer the load of the column to the foundation or to the column pedestal, you need to provide steel base plate. Okay, so this one is your steel base plate. Okay, and the steel base plate, the column is connected to the steel base plate by means of welding or by means of bolts. Okay, pwede mong i-bolt, i-weld yung inyong column, let's say wide flange, to your steel base plate. Okay, then to embed your steel base plate to the concrete column pedestal, okay, you need to provide anchor bolts. Okay, this one is the anchor bolts. Okay, then also you need to provide non-shrinking grout. Okay, ibig sabihin ng non-shrinking grout is you need to provide grout or spacer between the column pedestal. Hello, sorry, nawala. Okay, okay, asan tayo? For the non-shrinking grout, okay, the non-shrinking grout is to provide yung spacing between between the steel base plate and dun sa concrete column pedestal. You need to provide your non-shrinking grout. Okay? Para maging equal yung pressure. Parang hindi siya magsasettle dito sa isang side or magsasettle dito sa isang side because you provided a steel a non-shrinking grout, okay, in between the steel base plate and the concrete column pedestal. Okay, so the steel column base plate, okay, ano yun? Pinag-raise ng hand.
Sir, yung ano po, yung bolts po, paano po kinakabit dun sa pedestal?
Wait, sorry. Anong question? Yung?
Paano po siya kinakabit dun sa pedestal? Ine-embed po.
Sino? Yung steel base
Yung
plate?
bolt.
Yung
Yung
bolt.
anchor bolts po.
Okay, so paano kinakabit yung anchor bolt in the concrete column pedestal is kailangan bago ka mag-cast ng concrete, bago ka mag-pour ng concrete, okay? Bago kayo mag-pour ng concrete, naka-ready na yung anchor bolts. So ang itsura niyan class ganito. Okay. This is the section of the column. This one is your non-shrinking grout and this is your steel base plate. Okay. Then yung anchor bolt is ganito ang itsura sa loob. Okay, this one is an example of anchor bolt. Then meron yang embedment. Ang minimum na embedment class is 17D or 17 times the diameter of your bolts. Okay? So yan yung typical embedment length of your anchor bolt. Okay? So ang gagawin niyan, ire-ready muna yung steel base plate. Okay. Steel base plate with anchor bolt. So una naka-expose muna yung walang nuts yung taas. Then ilalagay yung grout, ilalagay yung base plate, then tsaka na ibo-bolt, then meron ka ng base plate. Then ilalagay na yung steel column. Okay? So to place your steel column, kailangan mong mag-weld. Pwedeng i-weld mo this on this side. Yung itsura niyan sa top is nakaganyan. This is your steel base plate. This is your wide flange, let's say. Okay, and this is your anchor bolts. Yan. So the right way to place your anchor bolt to the concrete pedestal is kailangan nakakas yung anchor bolt in the concrete column pedestal before kayo mag-concrete pouring. So there are instances, okay, there are instances that the contractor or the builder forgot or they did not provide anchor bolts. Okay, so the solution is to chip the concrete. Okay, you need to chip your concrete and you will provide a chemical bolt. Okay, they call this as chemical anchor bolt. So ang ginagawa doon, since hindi mo na kayang mag hook on the ends. So ang mangyayari nakaganito lang siya. Okay, so nag-chip sila ng ganyan. Then you will place your anchor bolt. Okay. Then you will provide adhesive or chemical adhesive which is have very high strength. Okay? So meron yang adhesive on the ends. So yan yung mga key instances that the contractor or the builder did not provide column anchor bolt in the pedestal. Okay, so the steel column base plate is are one of the most fundamental parts of the steel structure. So yet the design of base plate is commonly not given to the attention of any designers or any engineers. So these result in base plate details that are expensive. So difficult to fabricate and may even contribute to the hazard of the steel erection process by not providing stability for direction loads and applied to the column. Okay, so in my own experience, okay, mahirap talaga kasing hanapin yung design of steel column base plate, especially when you have bending on both axes. Okay, hindi siya parang hindi siya ganoon ka-well known sa mga authors. Kasi ang mga sa authors, ang typical lang dyan is the design of steel column base plate with actually loaded or actual load only, no bendings. Okay. So that is why some engineers, okay, nung hindi pa ako ganun ka na-expose sa experience how to design mga ganitong special structure, some engineers, let's say fresh grad, okay, hindi sila ganun ka well adverse to design of steel column base plate, especially when you have a moments. Okay, so that is why minsan over design yung mga steel column base plates. Okay, so base plates serve two basic functions. Number one is to transfer the column load to the supporting member or the foundation. Okay, so this include axial due to gravity, the moments, the shears, and something axial due to uplift. And number 2 is to allow the column to stand to a temporary vertical cantilever, and the column base plate must withstand a temporary wind direction load safely. Okay, take note of this. Sinabi ko nga, steel cannot be exposed to earth because of the rust and the steel deterioration. Okay, that is why we need to separate the steel and the earth natin, yung ating mga soil. Okay, so the anchor bolts and nuts, the most common and readily available anchor bolts are the ASTM A36 and the ASTM A307. Okay, so katulad nung nasabi ko when we are designing anchor bolts, when we are designing bolts, okay, the most common material for anchor bolt is the ASTM A36. Okay, smaller bolts generally are supplied in A307 and larger diameter in A36. Okay, so the material properties of these relatively low strength bolts are very similar. So these two grades are weldable and should be specified when possible. Okay, and for the plates, the most common base plate materials, okay, again is the A36. Okay, it should be ASTM A325. Okay, should be ASTM A325, not A36. This is a typographical error. This should be ASTM A325. Okay. Then the most common base plate material are the A36, A572, and A588. And especially in the Philippines, the most common type of steel is the A36. Okay, fabricators responding to the questionnaire recommended that the A36 material be specified if possible because it is the most readily available material. Okay, so these tables show material availability guidelines based on the thickness. Then for the A36, the thickness varies from 4 inches below. Okay, meron yung mga A36 na steel. Also have A572 and A588. Okay, between 4 inches to 6 inches, meron din silang tatlo. Meron si A36, A572, and A588. However, for a thickness which is greater than 6 inches, or 6 inches is 150 millimeters. Okay, yung tanging may available that thickness of 6 inches is the A36. Okay, and for the washers, okay, kung alam niyo yung washers, guys, you all know what is washer. Okay, so meron ba tayong drawing? This one, ayan. So for the washer, guys, ito yung washer, this one. Yan, yan yung washer. Okay? Sila yung cylindrical part, okay? Yeah, ito yung inyong anchor bolts. Then meron kayong washer between, okay, in between. So what is the purpose of the washer? Okay? So if high strength anchor bolts are tension, okay, or hardened cut, so 'di ba kapag nag okay, 'di ba pag higpit tayo ng ating bolts, okay, magkakaroon niya ng pre-tensioning, 'di ba? Magkakaroon niya ng tension. So for example, ito yung anchor bolt mo. Okay. Then hinigpitan mo siya. Okay, hinigpitan mo siya. Ang free body diagram niyan, class, magkakaroon niya ng tension dito. Clamping force, 'di ba? Kakaroon ng clamping force 'yan. Parang clamp niya yung inyong steel base plate. Okay? Kinaklamp niya yung steel base plate mo. Okay. The washers should be used in addition to any weld washer plates used. Okay, this will prevent the nuts from galling the weld washer or the base plate. Normally, anchor bolts are not tension, and nuts are usually tightened with a wrench using a cheater. Okay, so basically yung washer is to prevent yung inyong nuts. Okay, this one is the nuts, para ma-prevent yung nuts from parang what you call this, para hindi masyadong magalaw yung inyong nuts kapag tinighten nyo yung inyong anchor bolts, okay, hindi siya masyadong magalaw. Okay? So that is the purpose of washer kasi meron yang pre-tensioning pre-tensioning force yan eh. Okay? And also we have the base plate leveling. Okay. Some erectors favor the use of leveling nuts instead of shim packs or leveling plates. So see in this figure. Okay. So other erectors favor the shim packs. Leveling nuts are usually to level or provide a more stable base or for existing erections load than the shim packs. Okay. Yung leveling and the shim packs is to provide yung pagpantay ng inyong para magpantay yung inyong nuts. So for example, naka-incline na ganyan yung inyong nuts. This is exaggerated lang, naka-incline na ganyan. Okay? Sa yung base plate leveling or the shims, ito yung shims. Okay? Is ma-level nyo yung inyong nuts. Okay? Yan. Ma-level yung inyong nuts. So that is the purpose of the shim packs. Okay. And also, this one is a sample structural details of an anchor base plate. So ito yung mga nakikita nyong detail sa mga plans kapag meron kayong example project. Let's say you're working in a company. Okay. So ganito yung itsura niya. So marami tayong mga format. Okay. So wait lang class may dadaan kandidato. Maingay. Okay. Sa lugar nyo ba, marami na rin bang umiikot na ng mga kandidato? May mga kanya-kanyang jingle, tama ba? Anyway, sige, start natin. Ayun. This one is a sample structural details. Okay, so in this figure, this is a 600 by 600 column pedestal. Okay, papansin nyo, ito yung column pedestal nyo with 460 by 560 base plate. Okay, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. With 10 pieces, 20 mm anchor bolt. Okay, using a 20 mm thick plate. And ito yung layout ng anchor bolts. And also take note that you have a stiffeners. Okay, you have a stiffeners, you have a stiffeners, you have a stiffeners, stiffeners, and this one, stiffeners. Okay. Yan. Okay. So, kung titingnan niyo yung this one is yung plan view. Okay? This is for the concrete column pedestal and this one is for the base plate. Okay? And this one is the section view. Okay? So, as you can see, you have an anchor bolts. Okay? So if we cut a section dito, okay, we have a cut ng section dito. And take note, this column is inclined column. Okay, inclined yan. That is an HSS 16 by 12 by 0.625. Okay. So, this one is your anchor bolt. Okay, meron kang anchor bolt, naka-drawing dito. Okay, then you provided, the engineers, the designer provided 50 mm shrink route. Okay, using a 20 mm thick plate. Okay, and the height of your stiffeners is 250. Okay, and for the foundation, you have a 3,000 millimeter width of your foundation with 20 mm longitudinal bars transverse along with space with 175 mm center with 400 mm thick. Okay, so yun yung mga how to detail your base plate. So starting from foundation to column pedestal to steel base plate to the column, then yung inyong orientation of your of the section. Yan, yung orientation ng section, yung mga layout. Okay. So what is the purpose of the stiffeners? Okay, what is the purpose of the stiffeners? So yung stiffeners class is to. Okay, stiffeners. Okay. That one. Okay. The stiffeners class is to provide additional section modulus to your base plate. Okay, again, the stiffeners is to provide, yun yung pinaka-specific is to provide additional section modulus. So, mas lalaki yung section modulus ng inyong base plate. Pero yung pinaka-sagot is to provide additional capacity to your base plate. Bending capacity to your base plate. So, bakit nagkakaroon ng additional stiffness? Okay. So, let us cut lang natin yung section na to. Let us cut this section. Kung titingnan nyo yung section na yan, meron kayong steel base plate, meron kayong stiffeners, and stiffeners. Tama? Yan yung makikita nyo. Pero kung walang stiffeners yan, ang makikita nyo lang ay steel base plate. No stiffeners. Okay? So, therefore, kapag i-check nyo yung bending stresses, that is equals to moment over section modulus. Okay, let's say this is in X. Let's say it's the same. Let's say in X. Okay. So mas malaki di hamak yung section modulus of base plate with stiffeners compared to the base plate without stiffeners. So therefore, lalaki yung bending capacity of your steel plate. Okay. So that is the main purpose of steel plates. Okay. So let us go to designing our steel base plate. Okay. So the way we design our steel base plate is first, kailangan mong i-consider yung column pedestal. Okay? Bakit kailangan mo i-consider yung column pedestal? Because your steel plate is resting on the concrete column. Okay? The steel plate is resting to the concrete column. Okay? So, if you did not consider your concrete bearing strength, okay? Yung bearing strength of your concrete, so this is your concrete. Okay? Alam niyo yung okay. Hello. Hello? Hello. Ayan, bumalik na ba ako, class? Hello, naririnig na ako.
Yes po, sir.
Okay. So yung bearing class is siya yung bearing strength of your yung parang nakapatong yung inyong column as the steel base plate dun sa inyong concrete. So the forces is yung bearing strength. Okay. So kapag hindi nyo consider yung bearing ng concrete nyo, may bearing ng concrete column, ang mangyayari is yung steel base plate mo kaya pa, pero magkakaroon ng cracking dun sa inyong base plate because the bearing strength nito hindi niya kaya. Okay. So meron niyang moment, large axial, then yung bearing ng inyong concrete. Okay, nakikita niyo may mga tipak-tipak doon sa edge. So ito firm pa to. Okay? Standing pa yung inyong steel base plate but the concrete column pedestal is hindi na. Okay? So yan yung kapag hindi niyo consider yung concrete column pedestal. Okay? And number 2 is based on the capacity of your steel plate mismo. Okay? So capacity rin ng steel plate mo. Okay? So meron kang dalawa. Based on the capacity of the concrete na pinagpapatungan niya and based on the steel plate alone. Okay? So the concrete bearing strength is the design, how to design the concrete bearing strength is the design bearing strength in LRFD is equals to P sub C P sub P times P sub P. And the allowable bearing strength in ASD is P sub P divided by omega factor C. Whereas your phi sub C is 0.65 in LRFT and your omega sub c is 2.31 in AST. Okay, so how to determine the nominal bearing strength of your concrete, which is P sub P. Okay, P sub P class is in kilonewton or in Gibbs. Okay, wait. Sorry. Ayan ulit. Okay. So yung P sub P class is in kilonewton or in Gibbs in English and SI. Okay. So if you have a steel base plate on the full area of your concrete support, you have a full capacity of your concrete strength, which is 0.85 F prime C A sub 1. Okay. If your steel plate is less than the full area of your concrete support, okay, your 0.85 F prime C over A1, okay, is multiplied by the square root of A sub 2 over A sub 1. Okay? So, yan yung formula. Okay. So, ibig sabihin class, for example, ito yung inyong column pedestal. Okay. Yung first case, kapag yung full area of concrete support is contact dun sa steel plate and concrete. So, ibig sabihin, kino-cover nung steel plate yung buong concrete. So, let's say yung concrete mo, square, which is 600 by 600. And yung steel plate mo is 600 by 600 din. So, meaning, on the full area yung concrete support. Okay, for the case naman na less than yung steel plate mo, okay, you have this formula. So this is your actual value and this is your maximum value. So you cannot exceed to the 1.7 F prime C A sub 1. Okay? Whereas your A sub 1 is the area of the steel concentrically bearing on the concrete support in square inches or in square millimeters. And A sub 2 is the maximum area of portion of the supporting surface that is geometrically similar and concentric with the loaded area, again in square inches or in square millimeters. And F prime C is the specified compressive strength of your concrete in KSI or in MPa. So in other words, your A sub 1 is the area of your base plate and your A sub 2 is the area of the concrete. Okay, again, your A sub 1 is the area of your base plate and A sub 2 is the area of your concrete. And take note that it should be geometrically proportioned to your A sub 1. Okay, so meaning yung geometrically proportioned class, for example, meron kang 400 by 400. Okay. And your ano is 600 by 600. So hindi mo pwedeng i-consider that your A sub 2 is 600 by 600. You need to check if geometrically proportioned ba itong si 400 by 400 to the 600 by 600. So later on, mag-discuss natin paano yung pag-compute ng geometrically proportion. Okay? So again, you need to solve for the concrete bearing strength of your column pedestal, okay, to determine kung kakayanin ba ng forces na yun. Okay, so dito muna tayo sa number 1, by means of the column pedestal. Okay, so area 1, example 1, a W10 by 49 is used as a column and is supported by a concrete pier as shown in this figure. Okay. Minsan, ang concrete pier and the column pedestal is the same. Okay. So, concrete pier and column pedestal is the same. So, yun yung tawag sa kanila. Okay. So, the top surface of the concrete pier is 18 by 18 inches. Okay. And using the steel base plate of A36 with plate 13 by 13, okay, PL 13 by 13, check if the concrete pier is capable to resist a dead load of 98 kips, a live load of 145 kips. And the compressive strength of your concrete is 3000 PSI. So design daw using LRFD or design using the ASD. Okay. So we have a W10 by 49. So this is your steel column, which is W10 by 49. And you have a dead load of 98 kips. And you have a live load of 145 kips. Okay. And your concrete pier is 18 by 18 inches. Okay. So first, let us solve for the demand load. Let us consider what is the demand load. So considering load combo 1, which is U1, which is 1.4 dead load. So this is in solving for an LRF solution. So 1.4 dead load, 1.2 plus 1.6 live load, you get 137.2 and 349.6 kips. Therefore, your P sub U is the ultimate actual load. Okay, the ultimate demand actual load is 349.6 kips. So let us itabi lang natin yung demand ultimate demand load. Yan. So finding A sub 1 and A sub 2. Okay. So yung A sub 1 natin is the area of the base plate, which is 13 by 13. Okay, so 13 inches by 13 inches, therefore that is 169 square inches. And your area 2 is the area of your column pedestal, which is 18 by 18. Okay, so 18 by 18, that is 324 square inches. Okay, so since your area 1 is not equal to your area 2, okay, so meaning in other words, ito daw siya is area 1 that is equals to area 2, and ito area 1 that is not equal to area 2. Okay. So since your area 1 is not equal to your area 2, therefore, okay, therefore your bearing strength is based on the equation J8-2. Okay, J8-2 class is makikita niya yan sa AISC section, section J8. Ayan yung section natin. Okay, so therefore, we need to use this formula. And solving this formula, so 0.85 F prime C A1. Take note, class, that your compressive strength is in PSI, pounds per square inch. And to convert your pounds square inch to kips per square inch is divide it to 1,000. So 1,000 PSI is equal to 1 KSI. Okay, so 3,000 divide 1,000, therefore that is 3 KSI. Okay, multiplied by area 1, which is 169, multiplied by the square root of A sub 2 over A sub 1, which is 596.7 kips. Okay, so then check your upper limit. Okay, according to the problem, your to the equation, your upper limit is 1.7 F prime C A1. So 1.7 multiplied by F prime C 3 KSI multiplied by area 1, which is 169, you get 861.9 kips. So since your actual is less than the upper limit, so therefore you will choose this one, yung 596.7 kips. Okay. Therefore, your P sub B is 596.7 kips, and this is your nominal capacity. So if you go to determine the ultimate capacity in LRFD, you need to multiply your phi sub P to the resistance factor phi sub C, which is 0.65. So therefore, your P sub U is equals to 0.65 multiplied by 596.7, you get 387.855 kips. Okay. This one. So if we compare, so let us compare the demand versus capacity. So this is your capacity based on the concrete bearing strength. Bearing strength. Okay. This is capacity based on the concrete bearing strength. And this is your demand load. Okay. So therefore, comparing your capacity to the demand load, so 387 is greater than 349. So what can you say? Therefore, the column pedestal is adequate based on the LRFD solution. Okay? So kayang-kaya pala ng ating concrete bearing strength yung loads ng 98 dead loads and 145 kips live load. So let us check naman in ASD solution, in ASD design philosophy. So in ASD, the demand load is using a load combination of dead load and live load. So just sum the dead load and live load. So you have 98 kips plus 145 kips. You have 243 kips. Okay. So again, let us find the capacity. So finding A1 and A2. Area 1 is the area of your base plate, which is 13 by 13. That is 169. And area 2 is a column pedestal, 18 by 18. That is 324. Again, since your A1 is not equal to A2, you have this equation, J8-2, and the same to convert to find your P sub P, you have 596.7. So since alam na natin yung nominal, divide natin ng omega factor 2.31, you get your allowable capacity, which is 258.312 kips. Okay, so now comparing the demand versus capacity, which is 243 divided by 258, 243 less than 258. Therefore, the column pedestal is adequate. Okay, so let us check naman yung DCR. Check natin yung DCR. So demand capacity ratio, you have 243 divided by 258.312. You get your DCR, that is, okay, that is 0.94. And yung isa naman, your DCR based on LRFT is 349.6 divided by 387.855. You get 0.901. Okay, so this will be your demand capacity ratio. Since they are still less, they are both less than 1, they are safe. Okay. So that is how you get your capacity based on the concrete bearing strength. The capacity of your base plate based on the concrete bearing strength. And to compute the column base plate required thickness, okay, again, since this is a pure axial only, okay, pure axial lang to class ha, ibig sabihin ay we are not considering a bending and on the x and the y axis of your column pedestal. Okay, so the formula class for the thickness is greater than, your thickness should be greater than or equal to L multiplied by 2PU over 0.9 FYB times N. Okay. So, ito yung bagong formula for LRFD since the NSCP 2015. Okay? So, let us discuss paano muna nag-come up ng ganitong solution. Okay? Let's discuss muna natin paano nag-come up ng ganitong solution. Okay. Yan. Yan. So, para lang kayo nagde-design ng footing. Okay? If you remember. Yan. So, ito yung inyong base plate. Okay? And this is your actual load PU. Let's say, yan yung actual load PU mo. Okay? And ang distance, ang dimension nito is B. And this dimension is N. Okay? So, yan yung steel base plate with a thickness E. Yan. The thickness E. Okay. So, ang sabi dito sa designing of the thickness required is based on the cantilever method. Okay. Bakit siya tinawag na cantilever method? Just like in designing your steel, just like the designing of your foundation, okay, rigid daw yung assumption on the connection of the column and yung foundation. So parang the same din siya dito. So the assumption is rigid daw yung distances, okay? Rigid yung distance nito. Okay. Yung mayroon siyang certain portion na rigid assumption. Yan. Meron daw certain portion dyan na rigid. So, ibig sabihin, hindi ito ma-deform. So, kapag nag-apply ka ng load dyan, ang deformation yan is aangat dito, okay, pantay, aangat din ulit sa kabila. Yan. Yan yung deformation yan. Okay, para siyang, di ba, pag nag-apply ka ng load dito, bubuka siya sa kabilang side. Yan. So, parang ganyan. So, the assumption is yung rigidity dito sa point na to, since that is rigid, okay, if you recall, in your theory of structure, kapag rigid yung isang part, okay, pwede mo siyang i-assume as a cantilever. Yan, rigid daw isang part. So, a cantilever yan. Okay. And take note class, kapag actually loaded, may uniform pressure yan sa ilalim. Siyempre, di ba? Uniform yung pressure assumption yan sa ilalim. And that uniform pressure is equals to Q sub U, which is equals to PU over B times N. So force over area, yan lang yung stress doon sa ilalim. And that is the assumption is that is in ano daw siya, tawag dito, uniform. Okay. So meaning, kung pag consider natin to, itong portion na to, okay, if we consider this portion, okay, so para siyang nag-a-analyze ng cantilever beam. Okay? With a uniform pressure. With a uniform distributed load. Yan. Para tayo nag-a-analyze ng ganyan. And that force is, okay, bakit paakyat? Okay, a uniform cantilever, uniform. Yan, uniform sa ilalim. Yan yung assumption. Okay? And that force is equals to PU over B times N. Okay? So, ano ba yung moment dito sa isang side? Tama ba na ang moment dyan is QU. Okay? And let us consider this distance L. Okay, let us consider this distance L. Okay? That distance L, okay, that distance L is ito, maximum neto. Okay, that distance L is yung distance na ito. Ito yung ina-assume mo. So QU times L squared over 2. Tama ba? Yan yung moment dito. Okay, and that moment over your section modulus should be equal to your F sub B. Okay, the capacity of your bending stress capacity. So yan yung assumption dyan. Okay, so hanapin natin yung M, hanapin natin yung SX. So, ang kino-consider lang dito, class, is yung length na to. So, kuha tayo ng strip dito. Kuha tayo ng strip. Ayan, kuha tayo ng strip dyan. Kumuha tayo ng strip dyan, let's say that is 1 millimeters. Okay, with okay, so ganito yung itsura niya. Ayan, ganito. So, ito yung thickness, T, with 1 millimeters. Okay, with a length L. Okay. So, ano yung inertia niya? Yung section modulus niya. Tama ba na that is I over C, which is equals to BD cube. Okay. BD cube over 12 divided by B over 2. And your SX is equals to, yung D mo is 1 millimeters. Yung D mo is thickness, T. Okay, T over 2, that is T cubed, T squared over, usually may 12 po dito, so that is T squared over 6. Okay, tama, that is T squared over 6. So if we consider this one, okay, your FB is equals to the moment QU, which is equals to PU over BN times L squared over 2, that is your moment, divided by your SX, which is T squared over 6. Okay, T squared over 6. Okay. And kung meron sa inyo nakakaalala ng bending stress kapag pag square, maximum bending stress kapag square, that is 6m over BD squared. Okay? Naalala niyo pa yan? That is the bending. So parang ganito lang din yan. 6m over BD squared. So palitan nyo lang ng m ng PU over BN times L squared over 2. 6 times PU over BN times L squared over 2 divided by B, which is 1 millimeter. B is T squared. And your FB is assumed to be 0.9 Fy. So therefore, to solve for T, that is equals to the T squared is equals to 6 PU over BN. Yung L squared over 2. Okay, yung 6 divided by 2, that is basically pwede na natin gawin tong 3. Okay, and that is 0.9 Fy. Okay, therefore your T is equals to the square root of 3 PU L squared over 0.9 Fy Bn. Okay, so parang ganito lang din yan. Okay, ang problem lang ngayon, okay, this is yung pinagmulan ng formula of the yung LRFD ngayon, the NSCP 2015. But this formula is using the NSCP 2001. Dito nagmula yun. Okay, this the NSCP 2001, 3PU L squared over 0.9 Fy B times N. Okay. So for your for the sake of our parang updated tayo sa ating the way we design, we will use this, we will adapt this one. Okay, so yung L squared dito pwede mong i-factor out, so square root of L squared is L, so that is why you have L. Then take note class yung 2PU na yung ginawa nilang 3PU and 0.9 Fy B times N. Okay, so this is the straightforward thickness of required thickness of a column-based plate. So kapag meron kayong stiffeners class, okay, pag meron kayong stiffeners, the way we compute for the required thickness is the same theory. M over Sx is equals to Fb. You just need to solve for the section modulus. Kailangan mo lang solve yung section modulus. Diba ang section modulus this time, kapag may stiffeners ka is ganito with, let's say meron kang stiffeners on the two sides. Yan. So, ganyan lang. Kailangan mo lang isolve yung section modulus. Okay. And what is that length L? Ano ba yung length L na yun? Hindi ko nasabi yung length L na yan. Yung length L class, siya yun daw yung effective length na kung saan yun daw yung rigidity. Okay, doon yung rigid yung base plate. So ibig sabihin hindi siya nagbe-bend doon. Yun yung assumption. Okay, so yung L na yan is the maximum of M, your N, and lambda N prime. Okay, so what is M? What is N? And what is lambda and N prime? Okay, your M is equals to N minus 0.95 D over 2. Okay. So, okay, this one. Okay, this is the critical bending dimensions for different structures. So, sa wide flange, sabi niya dito, ito yung M. Ito yung distance. Yung distance M is basically N minus 0.95 D over 2. Okay, this is your distance. Okay. So this is your distance M. And this is your distance N. Okay, hello? Nakakabalik. Hello? Nakikita niyo na ba yung screen? Hello class? Kita niyo na ba yung screen? Okay. Okay. So yung length L daw na yon, that is the critical dimensions for bending. Okay. So yung length M, ayan yung natitirang distance na yan, and yung length N, yan yung natitirang distance na yan. So according to the critical bending dimensions, 80% of your B sub F and 95% of your total depth of the wide flange is effective. Okay? So this is only for wide flange. Sabi niya, yun lang daw yung effective. So kunwari, meron kayong wide flange with steel plate, okay? Ang effective lang daw is itong area na to. Ito daw yung portion kung saan lang siya rigid. Okay? And that portion is 90% of B and that portion is 80% of your BF. Okay? B sub F. So, yung length na to, syempre, kung kukunin mo yung length na yan, that is the same. Okay? So, that is 0.95D, that is M. Okay, that is M. So syempre, para ma-solve mo yan, so ito yung N mo, always, ito yung N mo. And this is your B. Okay, palaging ganyan. So therefore, your M is equals to N minus 0.95B divided by 2. Okay, makukuha mo na yung total length M mo. And for your N, that is your B minus 80% of your BF, divide it to 2, you get your N. This is your N, and this is your N. Okay, so that is the critical bending dimensions for a wide flange. Okay, for wide flange only. Okay, so for the other formulas, which is lambda, okay, lambda class is depends on the this formula, yung 2 square root of x over 1 plus 1 over 1 plus square root of 1 minus x, which is less than or equal to 1. Okay, this will tell you kung ang base plate mo daw is heavily loaded or lightly loaded. Okay, heavily loaded or lightly loaded. Kapag na-compute nyo dito class na greater than 1, your steel plate is heavily loaded. Okay. If na-compute nyo is less than 1, that is lightly loaded. Okay. So the formula class, sabi niya, dapat daw hindi kayo mag-increase ng 1. Okay. Dapat hindi kayo mag-increase ng 1. And the formula for your X is 4 times D times BF over D plus PF PU multiplied by PU over V sub CPP, or what you call this one as the demand capacity ratio. Ito yung DCR. Yan. Okay? Ito yung, sige, sulat ko yung, that is your DCR. Ito, P sub U over P sub C, P sub, basically that is your demand capacity ratio. Based on dun sa bearing kanina. Okay? So that is your X. And D is the depth of your wide flange. BF is the width of your wide flange. Solve nyo yung X. Transfer nyo to lambda. You can now solve for lambda n prime. So your lambda n prime is basically the product of lambda and n prime. And your n prime is equals to the 1/4 of the square root of D times BF. Okay? This one. And your factor phi sub C is the same, which is 0.65. Okay, and solving for the nominal bearing strength capacity is from equation J8-1 or equation J8-2, which is exactly this one. This is your equation J8-1 and the equation J8-2. Okay, so that is how you solve for the thickness, required thickness. Okay. Then for ASD, the required thickness is given by this equation. So 2 over PA divided by 1 over lambda. Okay. So 1 over lambda because ang inyong capacity is Fy over lambda. Kasi 'di ba sa ASD ang capacity natin phi Fy. In LRFD. But in ASD your capacity is Fy over lambda. Kaya yan yung FB mo. Yan yung FB mo. Okay. So that is why in ASD Fy over lambda, and that is why you have Fy over lambda dito. Okay. So the required thickness in ASD is T should be greater than or equal to L square root of 2 times P sub A divided by 1 over omega multiplied by Fy times B times N. Okay, if we substitute the value omega, which is 1.67, so you have this equation. Your T should be greater than or equal to L multiplied by square root of T 2PA FYBN times 1.67. So in the equation for X, we again substitute your P sub A for PU and 1 over lambda or 1 over omega for the phi. So kung pag nagsosolve kayo ng X dito, so the same equation, and your P sub U now will change to P sub A, and your capacity will now change to P sub P over omega C. So basically this is also the DCR. Okay, demand divided by the capacity. So don't worry about this one. Alam niyo na yan. That is the demand divided by the capacity. And take note that your again the factor phi sub C is 2.31. And the equations L, equations M, the equations N, the lambda, and the N prime are the same for the LRFD. The same for as for the LRFD. Okay, so ibig sabihin the same yung pag-compute nito mga values nito to the ASD. Okay, the same to same lang siya. Okay, so iba-iba yung critical bending dimension depends on the column that you use in the design. So kapag ang column na ginamit nyo is a wide flange, so burahin muna natin to. Okay. If your column na ginamit is wide flange, yung critical bending dimensions is 95% effective depth and 80% BF. Yan da yung critical. Diyan lang yung pagitan ng rigid and non-rigid na base plate. And for pipes, kay mga pipes, the critical bending dimensions are 0.8D. Okay? Or that is 80% of the outside diameter. Okay? 80% of the outside diameter. And for the HSS, that is 95% of the outside width. Okay, again, for HSS, that is 95% of the outside width, or 0.95B. And take note, kapag ganyan palagi yung drawing nyo, that is your B. Yung B is always along the X, and yung N is always along the Y. Okay. So, yan yung dimensions B by N of your steel plate. Okay. So, yung dito, katulad ng binanggit ko nga kanina, how to come up for the required thickness is using this one. You have your PU, the assumed condition, which is uniform pressure since actually loaded, and considering 1 inch thick or 1 mm thick or 1 unit dimensions, you have this one. And you can use M or you can use N. So, ang ginamit kong notation is L. Since yung L is the maximum of your M, N, and lambda, N prime. Okay, so do you have questions regarding the design of the required thickness for base plate? Okay, may questions pa kayo? So again, ito nanggaling lang ito sa NSCP 2000. Sorry guys, please bear with my internet connection. So gustuhin ko man mag-discuss ng walang connection problem, hindi talaga kaya. So don't worry, sa recording naman is hindi naman siya puputol-putol. Okay? Gusto ko sana talaga mag-discuss. Ayoko naman magbigay lang ng recorded video then hindi ko siya i-discuss sa inyo ng synchronous session para baka may questions kayo. Okay, so ayan. Okay, so yun. Do you have questions regarding how to compute for the required thickness?
Wala naman po, sir.
Sige. Okay, let's try to compute for example problem. Okay. So this time we are now designing our steel plate. Okay, so nakikita niyo na ba yung screen? Can you guys sige.
Yes po, sir.
Okay. So, ngayon, i-design natin yung ating steel base plate. So, ang kailangan lang natin dito yung loads, okay, and yung dimensions, okay, yung dimensions ng ating pedestal. And kung ano yung compressive strength na gagamitin natin. Okay. Kung mapapansin nyo, this is the same problem doon sa example 1. Sana hindi na mawala. Nag-data na ako. Sorry. Okay. Ayan. Nakikita niyo na ba ulit? Hindi tayo matapos, no? Hello guys. Kita niyo na ba ulit?
Kita na po, sir.
Okay. So this time we are going to find the thickness of your steel base plate. Okay. So a W10 by 49 as the same used as a column and supported by a concrete pier as shown in this figure. Yung top surface of the concrete pier is 18 inches by 18 inches. Design your steel base plate with A36 that is capable to resist a dead load of 98 kips and a live load of 145 kips. And the concrete compressive strength is 3000 psi. Design using LRFD and design using ASD. Okay. The W10 by 49 have a dimensions of 10 inches by 10 inches. Yan yung total depth. Okay, ito yung W10 by 49 natin. Your total depth is 10 inches. And your total width is 10 inches. Okay? So yan yung inyong yung dimensions of W10 by 49. Okay? Balik tayo doon sa finding the demand load. Okay, so to find the demand load using a load combination 1.4 dead load, 1.2, 1.6. Therefore, the governing load combination is which is 349.6 kips. Okay? Okay. Hello guys. Ayan. Gusto nyo ba next meeting kapag ganito na lang asynchronous session na lang tayo. So mag-upload na lang ako ng recording video. So tapusin na lang natin, no? Try natin. Pag hindi pa rin talaga kaya, maybe upload ko na lang yung recording. Sensya na guys medyo mahirap talaga yung internet ngayon sa Tataka ko bakit hindi pa rin bumabalik yung yung connection, yung internet connection. Okay. Sige. Naririnig nyo ba ako? Nakikita nyo yung screen? Pwede na ba?
Yes po, sir.
Yes
Kita
po,
po.
sir.
Okay. Okay, sige. Tuloy natin. Bilisan ko na lang. So, ayun. Compute the required bearing area from the AISC equation J8-2. Okay.
So, dito, since your since your required area is unknown, so you will use this equation J8-2. Okay? So, i-compare natin yung equation J8-2. So, 0.85 F prime C A1 square root of A2 over A1 should be less than or equal to 1.7 F prime C A1. Okay? And your A1 is the area of your steel plate, and your area 2 is the area of concrete column pedestal. Okay? So, since ang gusto nating design is let's say ayaw natin yung yung equal sila. Okay, hindi yung equal yung area nila. So, using the equation J8-2, so that is 0.65. So, 'di ba ang goal natin is your capacity should be greater than or equal to the demand. 'Di ba? Yan yung pinaka-goal natin. So, to get the limiting value A sub 1 is to compare the capacity to the demand and equate that value. Okay? So, yung capacity natin, that is 0.65. Okay, your P sub P is using equation J8-2, that is 0.85 times 3 times A1 square root of 18 times 18 over A1 should be greater than or equal to 349.6 kips. Okay? Therefore, your A sub 1, so solving for this one, your A sub 1 is 137.3 square inches. Your A sub 1 should be greater than or equal to 137.3 square inches. Okay? So let us check the upper limit if pasok pa rin yung A sub 1 on the upper limit. So, phi sub C times 1.7 F prime C A1. So 0.65, 1.7, 3 KSI. Okay. 137.3 square inches. Therefore, you have 455 kips, which is greater than 349.6 kips. Yun yung value na to. Okay. So therefore, this is okay. Yung okay tayo sa upper limit natin. Okay, so therefore, the required area 1 or the required area of steel plate should be greater than 137.3 square inches. And also, take note that, okay, dapat, kung paano ka pipili ng area of your base plate, dapat ay mas maliit siya or equal siya dun sa column pedestal mo. Hindi naman kasi pwede na yung, let's say, yung concrete column pedestal mo is 18 by 18. Pero yung ginawa mong yung steel plate mo is 20 by 20. Hindi yan pwede because mas malaki na yan dun sa to the steel base plate. So ang mangyayari yan kung ganyan yung gagawin mo, naka-overhang yung steel plate dun sa sides. May naka-overhang, which is wrong. Okay, so therefore, your area 2 should be always greater than or equal to your area 1. Okay? And what is your area 1? Ang area 1 mo is BF times T. So that is 10 by 10. That is 100. So since that your area 1, okay. And also dapat mailagay nyo rin yung inyong column. So kunyari ito na yung steel plate mo. Steel plate. Dapat mailagay niyo yung column yung column niyo dito. So bawal kayong pumili ng maliit pa dito sa dimensions na to. So kung ang dimension mo class is 10 ito, this is also 10 inches. Okay? Hindi ka pwedeng pumili ng steel plate na less than 10 kasi nakalabas yung kailangan mas malaki pa rin yung steel plate mo eh. So hindi ka pwedeng pumili ng dimension na to ng less than 10. And also sa dimension na to na less than 10. Okay? So in words, dapat yung B mo of your steel plate should be always greater than your B sub F. And your N should be always greater than your D of your wide flange. And also, your area 2 should be greater than or equal to your area 1. Area of your concrete should be greater than or equal to your area of your steel plate. Okay? So therefore, the required area 1 is 137.3. Therefore, taking the square root of B by N is 11.72. 11.72. So let us try B by N, that is 13 inches. And your area 1 provided is 169 square inches. Okay, so yung 13 by 13 plus, okay, yung ang design natin is 13 by 13. So yung 13 is pasok sa criteria 1. Pasok din yung 13 sa side na D. Pasok din yung area 2 sa side ng area 1. Yung area 2 mo is 18 by 18 and yung area 1 mo is 13 by 13. So pasok din siya. So napasok yung criteria na to. Okay, dimension of steel plate. Okay, so that is how you check your dimension of your steel plate. Okay, then since you have your B by N now, okay, so pasok na siya sa concrete bearing strength. Since doon tayo nagkuha ng inyong the required dimensions. Take note, your required dimensions of your steel plate comes from the bearing strength of the column pedestal. Now, to check for the thickness. So, kailangan na nating mag-solve for the thickness of the 13 by 13. Okay. So, the dimensions of the cantilever strips of M, which is N minus 95% of D divided by 2, that is 1.75. And your N is B minus 0.8 BF over 2, that is 2.5 inches. Okay, and from equation for N prime, that is 1/4 square root of BBF. Your D is 10 inches, your BF is 10 inches. That is the dimension of your wide flange. And that is equals to 2.5 inches. Okay, then you can solve conservatively for simplification. You can solve lambda, which is 1.0. Or you can also solve for the real lambda. Okay, so you can solve for the real lambda. Okay, this one. According to the equation, that is 2 square root of x over 1 plus square root of 1 minus x. Okay, and also, yung x natin, solve muna natin yung x. Yung x natin is 4dBF over d plus bf squared. Okay, your x is 4dBF over okay, what is d plus bf squared? Okay, or multiplied by the demand capacity ratio, or your P sub U over phi C P P. Okay, and your phi sub U over phi C P P is equals to 1.0 because bakit yan equals sa 1.0? Okay, sorry, hindi na siya equals to 1.0 since nag-round up tayo ng ating dimensions. Nag-round up tayo kasi kung ginamit natin is B by N is 11.72, your capacity is increased. Okay, so ito liliit. Okay, so ginawa nating 13 by 13. So you can solve for x and you can solve for lambda. And should be less than or equal to 1.0. But conservatively, for simplification, let us consider lambda to be 1.0. So giving the maximum value of L, which is 1.75, 2.5, and 2.5, you get 2.5. Okay. And from this equation of your 5.18, the required plate thickness is given by T, that is L multiplied by the square root of 2 times PU over 0.9 FYB times N. And take note, in A36 still, in A36, your FY is 36 KSI. So 2.5 multiplied by the square root of 2 times 349.6 kips. Ito siya, yan yung PU natin na to. divided by 0.9 times 36 times B, which is 13, times N, that is 13, that is equals to 0.893 inch. Okay? And we can always round up. Ito, sabi nga, di ba, T should be greater than or equal to this equation. Okay? So, hindi ka naman makakabili ng 0.893 inches na steel plate. So, what you can do is to round up, okay, this value, okay, to a nearest 1/16 inches, or pwede mong gawin 1 inches na lang. Eksakto. So, your PL is equals to 1/13/13. Okay? So that is how you solve for the required thickness of your base plate. Okay? And using the ASD solution, still the same. Magbabago lang yung applied load or yung demand load. So the demand load this time is 243 kips. And computing the required bearing area, so compare again the capacity to the demand to get for the required A1. Okay, so the required A1 for ASD solution is 150 square inch. And checking the upper limit, this is now also okay. And 150 yung ginamit mong A1, na-solve mong A1. And you can also use B by N, that is 13 inches with 169 square inches. So yung required mo is 150 pero yung provide mo is 169, still okay. Okay, so therefore you can use the 13 by 13. So you can try your M again, your N again, and your N prime, and you can conservatively use your lambda, which is 1.0. Therefore, you get your maximum length of the cantilever strip, which is L, that is 2.5 inches. And using the equation 5.2, the thickness required is 2PA over FYBN divided by the omega factor 1.67. And therefore, you have your 2.5 square root of 2 times 243 divided by Fy, which is 36. Your B by N is 13 by 13 divided by a factor of safety, which is 1.67. You get 0.913 inches. Okay, so that is again using a PL that is 1/13 by 13. Okay, so that is how we design for the required thickness and required dimensions of the base plate. Okay, so to design again for the summary of our solutions, okay, for the sake of the summary of the solution, okay, ang una mong gagawin is to find the required demand load, then compute the required area, okay, using the concrete bearing strength. Okay, using the concrete bearing strength, you can solve for area 1. Okay, and you can assume that your area 1 is less than your area 2. So you can use equation J8-2. Okay, after solving for area 1, check the upper limit and compare if that is okay. You may proceed to your equation, to your solution. And take note of the 3 dimensions of getting the steel base plate. Your B should be greater than your B sub F, and your N should be greater than D para mailagay nyo yung inyong column dun sa base plate. And para mailagay nyo naman yung base plate dun sa column pedestal, your area 2 or your column pedestal should be greater than or equal to your area 1 para mas madali nyo siyang ilagay. And after that, check the required thickness. Okay, check the required thickness, solve for the dimensions of the cantilever strip and determine the maximum. And you can proceed to the equation of the thickness. Okay, yung equation 5.18 or the equation 5.20. So this is the equation for thickness for LRFD, and this is the equation for the thickness in ASD. Kung mapapansin nyo class, yung phi factor dito is 0.9 because this is bending stress, di ba? So yung bending stress is 0.9 Fy. And dito naman sa isa, that is also bending stress, that is FB dito is equals to Fy over 1.67. So kaya siya may ganyan. Okay, so any questions? Okay, so I hope may natutunan kayo how to design your steel base plate. Okay, so for the reference, you can check your steel design book by Segi for more problems in in steel base plate. Okay, so thank you class for listening.